Rogers with you alongside Tom Downey. It is time for the Atlanta Falcons' latest rumors, and we'll talk about Julio Jones here. Is he holding out? We are giving this 4 Goodell heads. Yes, he is. He is not present as we stand at OTAs. So we firmly believe in this. The rumor origin, Dan Quinn, because, well, he basically gave confirmation that Julio Jones is not present for OTAs. Now, all the Falcons fans out there probably are not all that worried because OTAs are indeed voluntary. What you have to watch out for is the mandatory minicamp next month. If a player does not show for mandatory minicamp, which is mandatory, you will be fined. And Dan Quinn has expressed confidence that Julio Jones will be present there for minicamp. Now, Julio Jones is also looking for a new contract. And he's set to make $10.5 million in base salary this season, just a tick higher in terms of his cap hit for this coming year as well. And look, rightfully so. When you have people like Odell Beckham Jr., Tom, asking for $20 million a year, Julio Jones should be around that realm too, if not more than Odell Beckham Jr. Julio Jones may be the best wide receiver in the National Football League, not named Antonio Brown.
I think there's definitely a strong argument overall that he's at least one of the top 2, if not even maybe just the best guy overall ahead of Antonio Brown, and he's not being paid like the best guy, and that's always a big issue for NFL players, and he's getting closer to being up with his deal anyway, so I'm not really surprised that he wants to get paid more.
All right.
I mean, look how much Jarvis Landry got.
Exactly. There you go. Supply and demand sometimes. Yeah. 4 Goodell heads on that. The next rumor here, will Julio Jones be back for minicamp? And this kind of alludes to what I was talking about earlier. So 3 Goodell heads, Tom, we feel pretty good about this. Dan Quinn has expressed confidence that Julio Jones will be there. Kind of similar situation like Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Yeah, Dan Quinn says he speaks with Julio Jones consistently and that he knew he wasn't going to be there for offseason OTAs and that he wasn't going to be showing up for the program, but that he does think he'll be back for mandatory minicamp later in June, which is a good thing for the Falcons. It also is kind of makes it not really a holdout, like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be there, but here's when I'll be back. It's not really a full-on holdout there. So I think it's a good thing for the Falcons, and that's why overall, Cam, I'm really not that concerned about Julio and the Falcons going forward because they'll figure it out. There are no really hurt feelings here right now. Everything seems fine, at least in my eyes.
All right, so 3 Goodell heads there on Julio Jones. We got one more rumor alluding to Julio. Is he and the Falcons in a good relationship right now?
It seems fine. And look, we're not going to give it the 4 heads. Same with back from minicamp because maybe things deteriorate. But right now, I do think it's fine. And Arthur Blank says that he loves Julio. Julio loves him. He loves Atlanta. And he's going to be here forever.
Big statement.
It's just a process that they have to go through. And we'll see how that actually ends up happening because we know how things happen with players once they get old and they're overpaid and they're not quite the same anymore. So that's the issue for me with the Falcons is maybe things change, but it's at least 3 heads, Cam. They're going to be fine. Again, I know that maybe some Falcons fans are concerned about it because Julio asking for more money, and I saw some Twitter fans that were upset based on the way the Falcons currently sit, but I would not be concerned if I'm a Falcons fan at all, Cam. I think that they're going to be fine. It's nothing to be concerned about. It's just like Zach Martin and the Cowboys. Yep. Zach Martin's not showing up for OTAs right now because he wants a new deal. He's going to get a new deal. Martin and the Cowboys will be fine. Julio in Atlanta will be fine as well.
All right, so 3 Goodell heads there about Julio Jones and the Falcons relationship as we stand right now. Be sure to hit us up in comment sections, by the way, on YouTube and Facebook Live. Letting us know about this Julio Jones situation. Are we blowing it out of proportion, or is it, maybe something that's more serious? So be sure to let us know. All right, let's get to the next rumor on the list here. We got the Falcons and Kevin Bowen. Tom, are they going to sign?
Well, maybe. They're bringing him in for a workout today, and Bowen has been the quintessential offensive lineman who just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Undrafted free agent, was on IR in 2016 because of injury, and then last year spent all the season on injured reserve because of an ankle injury as well. Kind of feels like the Falcons just want to check him out, see what he's got based on what he's done in the past. But undrafted free agent, like he spent last season on IR, that's something to monitor as well. Even if he does get signed, Cam, I think he's going to be more of a camp body. He's not going to be a guy that makes the active roster in the end.
All right, so 2 Goodell heads there, firmly in the rumor category. Let's go to rumor number 5 here. Takk McKinley, will it be a breakout year for him? Well, Pete Prisco of CBS Sports certainly thinks so. We're going to give this 3 Goodell heads.
I agree. I kind of think this is going to be a big year for Takk McKinley, and I liked him coming out of UCLA. He was a much better fit for the Falcons defense than he was early in his career for the UCLA scheme. There's a lot to say. Yeah, all the indications, hey, this is the guy that's going to have the breakout year. 6 sacks last year. 4 of them over his last 7 games. That's a big deal on that. And also had 2 in the playoffs, 1 in each game. A lot of promising signs for McKinley to take that big leap forward. And look, Vic Beasley was banged up last year. That was an issue for him why he wasn't as good in terms of actual production as he was the previous year when he led the NFL in sacks in 2016. But I think it's a real fair question here to have. Is Takk McKinley going to be the sack leader for the Atlanta Falcons?
That is the big time question, and we'll ask you folks watching the program right now in our reaction poll, who will lead the Falcons in sacks this coming season? Will it be Takk McKinley, or maybe it could be Grady Jarrett or
Vic Beasley?
Yeah,
I didn't really think there was a great 4th option.
No, Adrian Claiborne is no more.
Well,
so.
He had 1 great game. So
Taz Green, anybody?
I actually am going with Takk McKinley on that, and I think he's going to be a talented player.
All right, hit us up in the reaction poll, heart, like, laughing face, or a wow face. Let's get to the final rumor surrounding the Atlanta Falcons. Is Matt Ryan rattled by hits? Well, Cam Jordan of the New Orleans Saints thinks so. We're going to give it 2 Goodell heads here, Tom.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no on this one. That's why it's the 2 heads. So, yes, you can rattle him. You can also rattle any single quarterback with
literally
pressure.
any.
That's how it works. Tom Brady gets rattled by hits. When you take a beating, you're going to have less success in the passing game. Now, I will mention this is why it's 2 heads. Matt Ryan's pass rating versus pressure, 70.8, 16th in the NFL. Versus the blitz, it's 103, 7th in the NFL. So at the very least, he's average to above average overall. So I get what Cam Jordan's saying, that if you hit him a few times, he says to do it more than a few times, you can maybe get into his head. But what quarterback is that not true for?
Right.
Like, yeah, if you take a lot of hits, that's where things can get rattled and can get a little bit concerned about.
All right, so 2 Goodell heads there on Matt Ryan. Cam Jordan with a little friendliness among foes there in the NFC South. So that's the rundown with the Atlanta Falcons and all the rumors surrounding